That's it, Brian?
Yes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. This video will be the plane hanger diorama from my Curtis P04B Warhawk. So what I'm doing right now is I just set the plane on a piece of paper and just roughly sketching out where the diorama, like the parts of the diorama will be. And all I've done is roughly sketched out a bit of a dirt track, like a little dirt track. And at the back there, I've just sketched out a little bit of where the hanger will be, just roughly sketched. All dry. I've taken that box and nails off, and now what I will do is mix up my plaster of Paris. This stuff is good for modeling, and I've just gotten this from my local hardware store. So when you mix your plaster, you want roughly a 50-50 mix of plaster and water. You want it to be the consistency of cottage cheese. So as you can see there, the plaster is roughly cottage cheese like, and all I'm gonna do is just put it all, take it from the container and just put it all over the model, and then I will start to smooth the plaster out over the model, try and get a nice even consistency of plaster over the model, and just smooth it out with a stick, or a paddle pop stick it's dipped in some water so it's nice and smooth and I don't have to worry about sanding too much. Also, when you put this stuff on, sometimes mistakes can be good because it's a diorama, it's not meant to be perfect. It's supposed to reenact the scenery or of like the jungle or whatever you're trying to reenact. It's supposed to resemble that, so sometimes mistakes are good because it makes it look even more realistic. So like I said before, I just grab a stick or a paddle pop stick and just start to smooth it out. Smooth it out as best I can, get a nice even layer of plaster all over the diorama. Now I've just tried to smooth it out as best I can, and after this I have mixed up some more plaster. So the reason why I mixed up more is because some of the so before I mixed up more, I just let this top layer dry off, just let it completely dry, and then I mixed up some more plaster. So the reason why I mixed up some more plaster is to fill in some of the gaps in the original plaster, just to fill off the edges that still expose some styrofoam or some dents in the original plaster. And also I like to put a layer of plaster around the edge of the diorama. The reason for this is because it makes it look a bit better and presentable, and it doesn't have your dirty old styrofoam just hanging out there, which could potentially get wrecked, destroyed, and also have styrofoam going everywhere. So I just put a layer of plaster around the edge, so it just makes it so it's just cleaner and you don't destroy the model, the diorama, itself. See, so all I've done is stuck a paddle pop stick, and like I said, just started to place it around the outside, get a nice smooth layer like I did, and I'll do this for all the sides of the model. All the sides, so it can just look better and stay a diorama for longer. So now once it's all dried, all I've done is just done a nice quick sand all over the place, just a nice quick sand just to get it, just some imperfections out, just a nice quick sand. I didn't go too over the top because it's meant to be a diorama and it's, yeah, not meant to be overly bad. So now I've just taken some deck brown and I've sprayed this, airbrushed this onto the model. So now what I'll do is I've just marked out the area of where the hanger will be. Just marked out a rough area of where the hanger will be, because inside the hanger will be concrete, so I'll paint it a different color. So I've just roughly marked it out, and then once I've marked it out, outside that area of the marking, I will do completely deck brown, so I'll just paint it all except for the area I have marked out. So now all I've done is just touching up some imperfections of the paint, just to make sure I've got everything covered. The reason why we paint the bottom like a brown, even though we're going to cover it in dirt, is just so if the dirt doesn't stick to some areas, it doesn't look bad, because you've got that brown color over the top. So all I've done is taken some grey. So I used Tamiya acrylics, and I've taken this grey and just roughly painted it in that area that I cut out with the brown. And this is to resemble the concrete underneath the hanger that we will be building on later. Like I said again, the brown we put down just a rough layer, so it's like doesn't show any of the white plaster underneath when we put the dirt down. So now all I've done is taken some balsa wood and glued them in the corners of the hanger, and this will be where the main structure of the hanger will be placed. I've just put some things behind it to keep them straight and up in the lean. So all I've done is taken the same balsa wood and glued 4 of these together. So 4 of these 2 balsa woods glued together. And then I've taken, so for 2 of them they will stay the same, but for the other 2 I roughly cut out a bit of extra balsa wood and stick them into the ends. So this will be for the longer sides of the build. I do this twice because there's 4 sides to the hanger. So like I said, those longer bits that I cut out will be glued onto the longer parts of the hanger. I just roughly make it glued and stuff, like just a rough glue. And then those shorter bits I glued together will be placed on top of the hanger. So now all I've done is taken some flat bits of balsa, this will be for the coverage, and cut it out to shape. I did 20 of these cuts out, cut to shape so it fits, did 20 of them. So I then glued 20 of the long ones and the short ones together, and it gives you a nice, like a board for the top of the roof of the hanger. So now I'm just putting an overall finish of PVA glue on top so it stays together. This didn't work very well, so I ended up just gluing it with Loctite glue. So what I've done is just started from the end and just keep putting one piece of each piece of wood, balsa wood, just keep putting them together. So some of them are a bit crooked and not straight, but this is good because it makes it even more realistic, like an old hanger just left in the jungle, ready to be used. So it just a bit more imperfection. And I used the Loctite glue because the PVA glue wasn't sticking to the balsa wood as good as I thought, so I switched to Loctite glue. When I suggest when you use this, maybe use some gloves, because I got this glue all over my fingers and it takes a while to get off. So now all I've done is cut out some shapes of the flat balsa and stuck them on the holes of on the roof that the balsa wood couldn't cover, and this is just to add like a more realistic look, and like people have tried to fix it over the years, but it's just been abandoned, and yeah. So for this gap, I just added 3 bits of balsa wood and then added some more bits on top of them bits, so it looked like it was like tried to be replaced and stuff like that. So then I just went ahead and glued the sides on. It's not that bad. I left a gap in the top just like it's been too old and battered and stuff like that. And the building's on sort of a lean, so it's been over there for like a while. So all I've taken is just a simple brown and done a rough coat over the building and just trying to get it look like wood. So now what I've done is just stuck the plane on the model and roughly sketched out the road with glue, and then smudged all the glue out in between that road there. And what I'll do now is, once I get a nice even coat of glue all over there, I will stick some stocking over a little container and just put it all over there, and then put some thicker grains of glue over it. Now once it's roughly dried, you just shake it off, get all that stuff over there, and spray on a mixture of detergent, glue and water. Now I'm putting some glue in the areas of the dirt and on those outside areas of the track. This is where some of the grass will go. This is just a normal flat grass. I'll just put it there, glue it down, and then roughly sprinkle it over on the edges and in where the road isn't going in. I stuck some glue on the roof and put some of this foliage on top of the some of this grass, on top of the roof, so it looked like it had some mold growing in it. This adds a realistic look to the model. Once again, I just shook it off as best I could, and then maybe blew a bit off. Now what I'm doing is taking some foliage bits and gluing them into the cracks and holes into the hanger to make it look like it's old and it's been there for a while, and just adding some bushes and stuff around the hanger and in the grass area or in the road of the model, just to make it look a bit older to the open eye. So I had trouble gluing this foliage to the model. It didn't work as well as I thought, so I used some Loctite glue on some of the loosest parts of it and just glued it on, and it worked better. But yet again, I do recommend using gloves if you're going to use this, because it is messy and it gets everywhere on your hands. See, so when I tried to glue this big bit onto the roof, it didn't want to stick. Tried to sit it there, it still didn't want to stick, so I just added some Loctite glue to it. So of course, now I'm just adding some foliage parts to the grass and the road, so it's all overgrown and it hasn't been touched in a while. So I didn't record this bit, but I just added some static grass to the area with some static glue. Just put it randomly around the area just to make it look more realistic. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first tutorial on how to build a diorama. Hope you enjoy it. I had fun making it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave some comments if you want to give me any tips or anything like that. And hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.